Hey VC HHD students, my name's Andy. I'm a VC Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video, we're going to look at how you can use the holiday break to prepare for the HHD exam this year. So just a reminder, I'm running 3 HHD exam revision lectures for ACE. The first of those is coming up really shortly on the 18th of September. There's also 2 other sessions running on the 29th of September and the 12th of October. So all of these sessions are running online, so you can join from anywhere in the state. You can head to book.acedvc.com to sign up for one of these sessions. In each session, I'll be going through exam strategies and advice, looking at past VCAR questions, and also focusing on the extended response question. I'll be covering the key content and the key skills you need to be across for the exam this year. And if you sign up, you'll get a set of notes posted to you with free shipping. If you do head to book.acevc.com, you'll see there's other subjects available like English and biology. And if you combine those with HHD, you'll save up to 20% on the cost of each of your tickets. So you can head to book.acevc.com to register for those sessions. So the holiday break is coming up and you might be thinking, well, what should I be doing across the break to prepare for the HHD exam this year? So you can see here, I've got some suggestions, and these are only suggestions. Obviously, it depends on how long, okay, you have been preparing for the exam already. So some people might have just finished, okay, or just be finishing their Unit 4 content and their final SAC, whereas some people might have finished that a little time ago and might be further along in their exam revision path. And so this kind of breakdown here is really for people that might be just starting the holidays, okay, and thinking about only at this point how you can be starting to prepare for the exam. So in week 1, okay, if you've just recently finished your Unit 4 content and your most recent Unit 4 SAC, you might want to start thinking about using week 1 to focus on making sure your notes from throughout the year up to date in case you've kind of fallen behind, because it has obviously been quite a busy term recently. And then once you've I guess, checked your notes to make sure that they've got all of the key sort of content that you need to make sure you're across for the exam, you might want to start refreshing and revising this content. So you might have forgotten some of that info from earlier in the year from Unit 3, okay, and even maybe aspects of Unit 4. And so it's a good idea to make sure that before you start doing practice questions and trial exams, that you really are across the content. There's no point diving in and doing trial exam questions and then getting to a question and thinking, I can't even remember, okay, what this was about, because it's kind of a waste of a question. So I'd make sure that before you dive in, okay, you go back and you review the content and make sure that you're across all of that sort of key information that you need to know to be able to apply that to questions. So you might want to use different revision tools. So I'll show you in a second a key knowledge and key skills document that could be useful, but also things like mind maps. You might want to go back and review some of the videos that we've got here on the Health Resources Hub YouTube channel and revise some of that key content. So let's have a look at a key knowledge and a key skills document that could be useful. So if you're part of the free student newsletter that you can sign up for at our website, the hrh.net.au, I'll be sending this out in the next week. Okay, and so this key knowledge skills document is really useful because you can go through and you can have a look at here the key knowledge points from the study design, but remembering that the key knowledge points also have key skills, and the key skills essentially are asking you or telling you what you need to be able to do with the key knowledge, how you need to be able to apply it and put it into action. And so in your notes, you can go through and check, okay, do I have some content knowledge as part of my notes on all of these different key points here? And then in this column here, you can tick if your notes are up to date, but you also might use like a traffic light system, a green, yellow, and red. And maybe you'll put a green here if you're feeling confident, okay, with the knowledge that's associated with this key knowledge point. You feel like, yep, I remember all of that. I know my descriptions, okay, I understand the information. You might put a yellow if you're like, I still need to work on a few things, or you might put a red if you're like, I definitely need to go back and revise all of this. I can't remember much of it. And so you can go through and do that for all of the key knowledge points here, okay, that cross over Unit 3, Outcome 1 and 2, and obviously Unit 4, Outcome 1 and 2. And then what you might want to do is you might want to have a look at the key skills and think, okay, could I take this key knowledge point information and could I then carry out these key skills, do I think? So the same thing here, you can put a tick there, okay, if you feel like you've done some practice questions related to that key skill before, and then you can use the traffic light system regarding how confident you might be, okay, in, I guess, attempting questions that would be related to those key skills. So once again, you can do that for all of the different key skills that are covered throughout Unit 3 and Unit 4. So as I mentioned, if you want a copy of that document, you can sign up to our free student newsletter on our website. You just head there and scroll to the bottom of the page, and I'll be sending that out in the coming week. So once you've, I guess, in week 1, okay, really gotten on top of that sort of key knowledge, okay, you might then in week 2 want to start focusing on completing practice questions and reviewing your responses. And so these practice questions might be practice questions that you've sort of been provided in class throughout the year, okay, or you might have been given some holiday homework practice questions to complete in maybe some revision booklets or things like that, or you might start looking at practice questions that are part of trial exams. And so as you're completing those practice questions, it's really important to be reviewing your responses. And so as you're reviewing your responses, you should be thinking about, is the structure of my answers, okay, what ideally, okay, they're looking for as part of maybe the sample answers that are part of, okay, the questions that you might be looking at. And are you including, okay, the specific key terms that are required in answers to HHD questions? So if a question is about health status, are you referencing the key health status indicators as part of your answers, etc.? So by completing practice questions and looking at the sample answers, that can help you to think about how you're going in relation to your writing your responses and structuring responses. Probably would be ideal also in week 2 to complete, okay, some company trial exams. You might want to save the VCAR exams to a little bit closer to the exam. So you might want to look at some of those different company trial exams. And I've talked about previously, I've worked on quite a few of the ACE HHD trial exams in recent years. So they're quite good ones if you're looking for some to complete. And so for these company trial exams, you might like to start open book, okay, with these ones using your notes. That might help you to gain a bit of confidence as you complete 1 or 2 trial exams. But then I'd also recommend that you try to complete at least one under timed conditions with no notes. And so hopefully that'll be before maybe you do any trial exams at school. I know often students have in week 2 of the holidays, okay, some trial exams at school. So if you complete at least one under timed conditions with no notes, it'll give you a good sense of how quickly you need to be working through these trial exams to make sure that you're getting them done, okay, in time. And it can really be helpful, okay, in terms of you working out what is the information that really isn't quickly springing to mind in a trial exam and I need to go back and revise further. And so something that once again might be useful once you've completed a trial exam is some kind of reflection document. So this document here, okay, is something that I've shared through my free student newsletter. But once again, if you sign up at our website, I can send you through a copy of this. And so once you completed a trial exam, it's good to reflect on, okay, once you've marked it by looking at the sample trial exam answers that are often provided as part of these company trial exams, okay, and maybe going and talking to your teacher about some responses that you might not have been sure about. What parts of the course did I perform well in this paper? So, you know, it's good to understand what your strengths are and what are some areas that maybe you don't need to focus on as much, but then what were parts of the course where you lost most marks in that paper? And so then thinking about, well, what was it? Was it content knowledge that I was, okay, missing, or was it the structure of my answers, or was I not applying it? And then thinking about, well, what do I need to do, okay, to try to avoid these mistakes in the future? And are there sort of content gaps that I need to go back and review, and how am I going to do this? And so that might mean that you're taking some of those trial exam responses that are often provided with those company trial exams, and you're using those to update your notes so that you're on top of, okay, those gaps in your knowledge and that they're not going to happen again in the future. So some kind of reflection document like this is often quite useful for after you've completed a trial exam. So that might give you just a bit of a sense of how you could structure your holidays to start preparing for the HHD exam. As I said, depending on where you're at as part of your revision, okay, it might look different depending on what point you're at as part of your revision, but that's just something that could be useful for you as you head into the holiday break. One other thing to consider is on October 10th, okay, so just after the holidays, I'll be running one final session on preparing to complete extended response questions in the HHD exam. So as you probably know, there'll be an 8 to 10 mark question in the exam at the end of the year, and these questions are typically the most challenging and lowest scoring for students. So this session is designed to help you to hopefully excel, okay, in the end of your exam for these extended response questions. So if you register, you can see there's a try booking link here. If you just head to our website, you'll see there's a link there to register. I'll send through a couple of trial exam, extended response questions that you can practice completing, okay, prior to the online session. And in the session, we'll go through those practice extended response questions with sample answers, and we'll go through a document on advice of how to approach these types of questions in the exam, and you'll get some additional extended response questions to practice in the lead up to the exam. So if you'd like to join me on October 10th for that session, as I said, you can head to this link here or head to our website, and hopefully that'll help you to prepare for the extended response question in the end of your exam. Obviously, there's our YouTube channel that's got heaps of videos that have come out throughout this year and last year with exam tips and advice, and also all of the past VCAR questions from 2018 to 2022. I've gone through each of those and given you some advice on what to think about when answering those. So you can subscribe for new videos that will be coming out shortly in the lead up to the exam this year, or you can just go and check those out on our YouTube channel. As I said, we've got our free student newsletter if you head to our website and scroll to the bottom of the page, as well as our social media links there with exam tips that are coming out regularly, and also our email if you'd like to get in touch. Thanks so much.